Hey y'all, it's your girl Kiana and I am back with another video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, this is how Black women raise the men they hate. Before I get into this reaction, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you can be notified when I upload new videos. If you're not following my Instagram is at IAM_KIIIKI. You can also send me suggestions for videos that you would like for me to do a reaction to, or any topics you want to hear from me, or you could comment down below also. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we're talking about today is something very serious. I have a video to share with you guys. It's about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm going to show this video uninterrupted. It does have language and it does have violence. It's like sibling violence. Although it's not a joke, it's one brother fighting another brother, okay? So I just wanted to make sure that that disclaimer was out there just in case there are young children watching or anything like that. Okay, so before I show this clip. But what I want to show, even though the clip is a little long for one of my shorter videos, I think it's incredibly important because what we're talking about here is how Black women raise the men. They create the men that they talk about, the ones they complain about, the men that they actually hate. They actually are raising and creating these types of men, okay? And they're doing it in these single parent homes without any male of influence, without male authority, without any male supervision or anything like that. And it's rampant in our community. And we have to talk about the root causes of these things. All right, so what I want to do is go ahead and without further ado, show the video, and then we are going to come back with my perspective. Okay, let me go ahead and share the screen.
You wanna fight? You wanna fight? Fight me, nigga. You tough? Fight me, nigga. Fight me. Since you so motherfucking tough, fight me, nigga. You disrespect my motherfucking mom. I told you last time. Did I tell you last time? What? Fight me, nigga. You wanna fight? Fight. You wanna fight? You wanna fight? You wanna fight? You disrespect my motherfucking mama, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. That's your motherfucking mama, nigga. You ever put your motherfucking hand in her cock on the horn? The fuck wrong with you, nigga? You ever in your own care, nigga? You ever in your life call my mama no hard no bitch? I didn't. Yes, the fuck you did. Beat that. You was right there. Did I call her a hard bitch? Basically, yeah. I didn't call her a hard bitch. I don't give a fuck, nigga. That come on over the place to be saying that. What she got going on? The fuck? I didn't call her no like wobbly. Yeah, you want to try that disrespectful shit with me? I'm tired of hearing about that shit. I gotta come down here one more time. Punch his damn shit, nigga. Stop fucking playing. Get your motherfucking shit together. I'm trying to. She's supposed to get me to school. So what? Did you get your mother? You still the one who could have been in school. You wanted to go do all that. No, she made me go to my girl. So what? That's what your motherfucking ass need to be. Get your motherfucking shit together. That's what you better do. You was not finna be out here thugging going to tell none of that, nigga. I'll kill you before I let you do that. Then get your motherfucking shit together. That's what you need to do. This shit ain't no game. This shit is not no fucking game out here. That's what you fail to realize. This shit real. This shit real. You got it made, nigga. You need to appreciate that shit. She don't do that. Nigga, it don't matter, nigga. She stopped doing shit for me when I was 15 years old. Nigga, what I do? Man away, nigga. Stop complaining. Stop blaming people. Self-reflect. See what you doing wrong. Stop blaming everybody for your fucking wrong. Everybody saying to me. Cause that's what you're supposed to do. Can't nobody do nothing for you in this world. Do it for your fucking self. Stop blaming on people and blaming people. Cause you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna find yourself stuck in the same fucking position, waiting on somebody. Stop that fucking shit. When you smarter than that shit. You out here acting girl, chasing behind this stinking ass little girl. What the fuck is wrong with you? Stop that stupid shit. Like, bro, you smarter than that. Why is you doing this dumb shit you doing? You wasn't raised like that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You just gonna do what you want to do till they get you locked up. You wanna be in there with them grown ass bums? That shit ain't got nothing. I done been through all that. I done been in all the behavior program. That shit ain't got nothing. Get your shit together. That's what you need to be focused on. Stop the bullshit. That's what you need to do. Stop the bullshit. All that disrespectful shit, that shit stop today. Ain't no more of that shit. I bet I ever in my life you disrespected I'm on like that. Cause next time I'm really go on your shit. Like for real. Get your shit together. Like you got it made right now. You need to be you really need to be calling her and apologizing, nigga, and appreciate her that you got a fucking roof over your head. Make sure you was ready to call the police and get your ass out of here. Like get your shit together. Are you smarter than that? And stop taking that fucking stinking ass little girl. Like,
I apologize. I had to, redirect my mind because that video was really painful to watch. To see the older brother beating up on his little brother like that, asking him what is wrong with him. And it just shows a reflection of, I'm gonna start from the root of the problem, where the mom didn't have any teachings, any bringing up in her household to teach her son that whether she is single mom or not, she should be able to teach her son to be a man and talk to other people. The mom is single, so obviously their dad wasn't around to give them the proper guidance and the proper teachings on how to confront a problem, right? In that video, you saw that the older brother was beating up on his little brother because that's the beatings that he got from the streets. That's the beatings that he beat up on himself every single day. Having to grow up on his own, basically. He said the mom stopped doing stuff for him at 15. He had to learn how to be a man at 15 years old. He was thrown out to the wolves, right? And the little brother has it made. The big brother said, if you want something, you can't be out here waiting for somebody to give it to you. Because that's all you're going to be doing is waiting. If you want something, you got to go out here and get it on your own. That was the problem, where he's teaching his little brother, if you need anything, you go out here and get it on your own. He's not giving him the correct steps. He's not giving him the proper tools on how to get it on his own. Because when people say they get it out the mud, basically, when you throwing out to the wolves like that, you got to get it how you can, right? And most young black men, they do what they can and they learn from these streets, and then they become hard and have this hard shell. And they're like the big brother and beat up on a little brother because they weren't taught better. Who, y'all? It's so sad. It's so sad that, we talk about black women not being brought up in a household with their fathers. But for the black men, they got it so much worse than we even realize for women, right? Black men have to do it all by themselves and learn from life's experiences. And instead of the big brother coming in there having a conversation with his little brother, for his little brother to even understand, he didn't call his mom out her name, right? The big brother could have had a conversation with him. He didn't even listen to the younger brother's point of view of what happened. It's always two sides to a story, right? So the mom telling him, oh, your little brother did this, your little brother did that. Little brother didn't even get to say what exactly happened and what he did. Big brother just went in there, start punching on him. That's how some men become abusive. They think any problem you face with, you can just go and hit it on the head, literally, and cuss that person out. That's not okay. Recording it like it was a joke. That was really something that had to go on the internet for everybody to see. That is emotional abuse, physical abuse. That's abuse on his manhood because he's not getting the right teachings.
Okay, so that was a lot. And I did warn you about the language. This is what our young men go through in these households. These are the mentalities that they are being raised with these single mothers in these households. The first problem is the older sibling is acting in an attack dog manner for his mom. That's a simp. She raised an attack dog. This is what Black women are talking about. This is what these gynocrats are talking about when they say they want Black men to protect them. They raise the men as boys to be attack dogs, even with other family members or other siblings. Now, he could have had a similar talk with him in love, but instead it was prefaced with fighting and violence on behalf of her, on behalf of a woman that he claimed that he called her out of her name. And don't disrespect her in defense of her.
And I want to say another thing too. Without discipline from a male figure or their father, wherever he is, this is why dads are needed in the household. So the older brother don't have to do that. The older brother can learn from the dad. But if he's so stubborn in his ways, he can do what he needs to do and be out there letting the streets run him and all that, that's fine and dandy. You live how you want to live, but don't come in here teaching this young man how to act just the same way, because it's going to continue to be a generational curse unless it's stopped.
He wouldn't have had to do that had she not chosen to be a single mother and had she had their father around. Then their father would be able to curtail any disrespect that was going on, because boys outgrow the authorities of their mothers, but they don't outgrow the authorities of their fathers. And when they do get to that point where they no longer wish to deal with the authority of their father, they feel like they can have their own leadership and their own system, order, and structure. That's when they're adults, and that's when their fathers see them out. And not even in a bad way. I'm talking about in a functional way. This is when their father set them up. He done, look, I done raised you, I done gave you, I done shown you what leadership is. I've shown you what manhood is. I've taught you about your manhood. I've taught you about your masculinity and how to show up in the world as a man. Now it's time for you, you know, you're 20, 21, 22. It's time for you to test that out. I'll be here in support if you need it. But as a man in this world, you're going to have to start dealing with the world. That's a healthy way to do it. This is the dysfunctional way to do it. This is the I'm going to pass down these generational curses way to do it. Okay? So that's number one, the attack dog. This is how Black women want to be protected, which is not protection at all. It teaches these boys that no matter what she's engaged in or no matter what she does or anything like that, she's always this queen. She's always somebody that needs to be protected even from her other children. And she tasks her older children to punish the younger children for this perceived disrespect. Now, mind you, when you pay attention to the condition of the room, this young man, who's obviously a teenager, is sleeping on a twin mattress that's obviously too small for him, and it doesn't have any sheets, and the rug is dirty, and the room is empty. How is this living? What is the dwelling value that she got her children in? And at the end, you can see, oh, well, you need to be thankful you got a roof over head. This is what she's supposed to be doing. She the one chose to have that boy. He didn't ask her, could he be born? She did that. That was her decision. So now your children are here, you're supposed to be taking care of them. And only Black women think that their children are supposed to be overly grateful and overly worshipful of them for doing the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. How you got the bare minimum going when you got your kids laying on bare mattresses. That's some of the most hood ghetto stuff I have ever seen. And we was poor and we had sheets on the mattress. Okay? It was days we couldn't eat nothing, but it was sheets on the mattress. Then let's move on to the other thing. The sibling complains that his mother isn't meeting his needs, his basic needs or any of the other needs. He's not making sure that he can get back and forth to school. She's not making sure. These are her responsibilities as his mother, and she's not doing anything for me. He's trying to tell his older brother. Then his older brother says, she stopped doing stuff for me at 15. Why is this acceptable?
That's absolutely unacceptable. Your mom is sitting here not taking your little brother to school. How is he supposed to graduate? How is he supposed to even get that education if she's not doing what she's supposed to? Her responsibility to take him to and from school. Talking about, oh, you trying to talk to this little girl, woo, woo, woo. Maybe her mom was about to do your mom's job when they say unfit mothers, right? Unfit mothers worried about Tommy across the street. Unfit mothers worry about who she about to go on a date with that night. Worried about getting her hair done. That's why there's no sheets on that bed. That's why she using her taxes that she getting for this child, for this teenager that's 15, under 18, right? He still can't do much for himself. Probably can't even get a job yet for himself other than cutting grass and taking somebody's trash out. Mowing the lawn. He still can't do much for himself, and he's sitting there laying on a bed that's too small for him. But she using her taxes, getting her weaves done, getting her wigs, getting some new shoes. Talk about unfit, right? Y'all. When I tell you that this has got to be the most unruly, unacceptable thing I have seen. What that older brother should have been doing was, you see how your little brother living, you don't care about what your mom doing. You care about your brother calling her out her name, supposedly. When the older brother could have been talking to the mama, knock some sense into her head. Mama, why you got my brother sleeping on this mattress like this? What's up with you? He at least need a bed that ain't got no rails on the end of it. A full size, a queen size. That room is big enough for something bigger than a twin size. That boy is big and he's growing every single day. He should have been knocking some sense into her head. Mama, you need any money? As a matter of fact, nah. Scratch that. Bro, do you need some money? I'll give you some bus fare. Train. What you need? If bro got a car, you need a ride to school, let me pick you up. Let me feed you. Let me put some sheets on your bed. You know, if he was in his right mind though. Because he's nowhere near good enough to support in raising a young man that's about to come into his manhood. Because he's not in his masculinity. That brother barely making it on his own. That's that mama's fault. You not teaching these boys, or at least allowing a father to be around to teach them. They gotta go out there and learn it on their own. And at least the younger brother trying to get to school, but now he's staying home because you doing whatever you want to do. Modern women, they think about themselves, selfishness. How you worried about making sure you got some crab legs in your kitchen while you can't even get your son back and forth to school. How you worried about your job and you probably missing work for the dude that's laying up in your bed right now. Y'all. Let me continue.
This is the other thing that our young men go through. That there's that threshold between when he's my son and when he's just that Negro. That Negro in the house that needs to man up, that needs to stop doing this and stop doing that and become a man all of a sudden. Then the older sibling starts to repeat this gynocentric type of rhetoric to his younger brother. When his brother says she's not, basically he's telling him she's not meeting my needs as my mother. She's not being a mom. And I need her. This boy is young. He can't be no more about 15, maybe 16, something like that. This ain't no grown man. This is a boy. He's still a boy. Raised with no guidance in this single mother home by a woman that would have her older children jump him for quote unquote disrespecting her. Then we hear some of the things that's repeated on YouTube when you hear these gynocrats talk. She stopped taking care of me at 15. First of all, why is it acceptable that she stops being a mother at a particular age to her minor children? That boy's still a minor. Why was it up to the older boy at 15 to figure it out? He said, I had to figure it out. Basically, I had to figure out my own way in life where I'm not even an adult. In the society I live in, I'm not even considered an adult. But yet I'm having to do things and figure it out. And then as you hear that conversation, he's trying to tell his younger brother, listen, I've been through these behavior programs. I've been through these juvie programs. But why? Why is he going through it? Because he doesn't have any guidance, because he didn't get nothing from his mom. So he's basically trying to tell his brother, listen, you ain't gonna get nothing from her. But then it's laced with this gynocentric talk where he's saying stop complaining and stop waiting on other people to do things for you and stop you know what I'm saying, basically being dependent. But as a child, I'm supposed to depend on my mother.
And that's another problem right there. These young boys go through these juvenile programs. They go through these behavior programs because they acting out. They're missing something. They missing the guidance and structure from their dad. And then 9 times out of 10, they growing up doing what they need to do, land themselves in jail, and they saying, Mama, I'm sorry. Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you like that. Mama talking about, well, I knew you wasn't going to be ish anyways. Your daddy wasn't ish. You ain't ish. Hell, your brother not going to be ish. He going to end up just like you, in jail or dead. And it's so sad, y'all. It's so sad. Now they resenting they mom because they mama talking down on them. And then they resenting their dad for not being there. Well, where was my daddy at this whole time? Your mama pushed him away. Your mama pushed him away and didn't even think about her child. She didn't think about y'all. She didn't think about what it would be like when it came time for y'all to really need y'all dad in y'all lives. She didn't think about the long term. She didn't think about all the harsh things that you will have to deal with in life and nobody there to help you but the streets. She didn't think about that. She thought about herself, and she thought about her feelings. She thought about what that man was doing to her or not doing for her at that moment and pushed him away.
She brought me here. And that's some of the craziest dysfunction that you will ever hear in a Black single mother household, especially when she called herself raising boys. She immediately starts in on that rhetoric of he's a man, he should figure his own life out. When do you stop being a mother? Why is it not your job to get him to adulthood? Your motherhood don't stop because you tired of him. Your motherhood of him don't stop because he's now towering over you and looking down on you and he got the physique of a man. Now that programming that gynocentric, I hate Black men, misandry program comes into play when he gets to start standing tall over you and his voice get a little deeper. Now he just become that Negro you can't stand. That kicks in and she teaches him that misandry to hate himself, to look down on himself if he's 14 or 15 and don't got his life together and don't got everything figured out and everything sewed up. When she has not provided any tool for him to be able to do that. And these women use this charged language with Black men. I'm going to speak on that at some point. These women use this charged language. He's whining. He's complaining when he has a legitimate issue, a legitimate grievance. My mother is not meeting any of my needs as her child under her roof. That's a legitimate grievance. And all of a sudden he's whining and crying and complaining, which minimizes his experiences. These are the men that these women are raising that they later on complain about, that don't understand their manhood, that don't understand their masculinity, because they have not been placed in any environment where they can learn these things. He cannot learn it from her, especially from a woman that hates him. She hates black men. And as soon as he become of the stature of a man, even if he's not mentally or emotionally a man, that misandry comes out and she projects that onto him, her hatred of him. These are the men that grow up making so many mistakes, getting in and out of jail, getting in and out of trouble. These are the men that go through life hurting other people.
She's putting her self-guilt on him, placing all this blame that she should be blaming herself for on him. He cannot figure it out on his own. He's still in need of you to help him through things. Even as an adult, when some men get older, even if they in the streets and they might be in a toss of having it all figured out, but sometimes they still need some wisdom that their mom should be able to provide. I know some men still 20 something, 30 something, 40 something, hell, 50 something years old, still going to their mothers if she's still alive, still going to their mamas for some advice, still going to their dads if they have them in their lives. As a mother, she should be a real woman enough to know that is not okay to be putting your older son onto your younger son like that. Whether he disrespected you, called you out your name, you should be able to, as a woman, to have a talk with him. You should have been able to teach your older son how to approach his younger brother when a situation like that comes about. Because you sitting here doing everything wrong, that's why he may have called you out your name. That's why he may have called you a B. He heard his brother do it. It comes a point of time when a boy stops listening to his mother. That love will always be there, but that disrespect will come by him not listening to her, disrespecting her for sure with his words and calling her out her name. Not respecting her household, meaning tearing up everything and leaving whenever he feel like it. If she got some rules set, these conversations are needed, because as mothers, we need to be raising our children differently. These generational curses have got to stop. They have got to stop. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end that video right there. That was a lot to take in. That really just saddens me to the bottom of my heart. I am heartbroken. I am heartbroken. Y'all, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and the bell next to it to be notified when I upload new videos. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.